All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby. Mike, 319! 59. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Alert, alert, alert!
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Check 59.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll toss it to Yeldon. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Ordinarily in short yardage, most people don't run a toss because it takes a little bit longer to develop. But some teams see it as a very physical type run because the amount of people that get out in front of the runner, offensive linemen, tight ends, sometimes an extra back, they like to run that play there and try and run over people.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's Allen. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Alert, alert, alert! Hey, dude! Check 59, Mike. Look out!
Now Allen. And he's got this down to the 35. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 35.
I don't believe that this Opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll run on first down with Cannon. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Shift. Watch the shift. Middle. Check. 59.
On second down, this is Cannon. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is third down. Allen now looks to throw. And able to find John Brown. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
First down, Bills.
Mike is 59. Pick me up. Here we go. Big gas. R52. Check 50.
On first down, Cannon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Trenton Cannon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Set, Green 80. Set, 180. Watch the curl. Wait, 89.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. A beautiful fake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
22-yard line.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Bills have recovered. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
They'll run on first down. It's Cannon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the screen.
On 2nd and a yard. Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Slam, slam. Check. Check hot route. Hot, hot. Check nine, check nine.
On third down, here's Cannon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. So off goes Allen, and on comes Stephen Hauschka for the Buffalo field goal.
A 27-yard attempt.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank. But this game, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction. But he seemed to put a little too much on it. And from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On second down, it's Hines. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in the fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
On the ground, it's Matt. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's brought down by Hawkeye. It's a gain of 7. Brings up second and
6-0 our score after one.
Hey, got four down. Get 180, 380. Yeah. He's loaded. Crash. Slam. Joker.
On second down now, it's Hines. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
On third down, Hines. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw here. Rivers. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right? You'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Rivers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. And the 13-year man puts it through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the 1st down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
A good return there, 17 yards. There, the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
On 2nd down, it's Hines looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Here's Hines. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
4th down and 1.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Load it.
Rivers to throw for it on 4th. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
You ain't going nowhere. Hey, echo.
From the shotgun, it's Rivers. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and this is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. In for the score, and the Colts have taken the lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Buffalo. 47 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Let's go.
23 yards, the final tally.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Give him 4 on the carry there. It's second and goal. They come out here in the eye. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. From back at the 2, here's third and goal.
Kill. Check 13. Five. Check.
They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Hauschka's kick is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, Ward. 50's the mic. Hey, watch your leg. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Hey, watch the behind.
Final play of the half, Rivers. And his throw is incomplete. So we hit halftime here in Indianapolis with the Colts on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw, Rivers. They'll run the screen with Mack. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They completed the screen, but one of the things you worry about is can the quarterback get rid of the ball before he's actually tackled? So your offensive linemen have to hold up the rushers a little bit because you want to make sure you keep your guys' jersey clean throughout the game.
180! 180! Here we go!
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well. Staying on the ground with Mack.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Rivers to throw it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
Touchdown, Colts. Mason Crosby for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 8. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out? Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
On first down, they'll start out with Matt. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
15. Come on, QB, come on.
On second down now, it's Hines. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Round 80. Line 50, line 50. You're not ready. You're not ready.
They run again with Hines. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
On first down, Hines. And a good burst there, gets him 7 up to midfield.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Rivers now from the 50. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start on the ground with Cannon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Round 80.
At the 43-yard line.
Focus, defense, focus. Check 3, check 3. Switch. Check nickel. Check 43.
Allen off the play fake. His throw incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Allen going to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. To the air, Allen. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3.
Hey, exit. 58's the money. Here we go. 58's the money. 58's the money.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On 2nd down, it's Hines, and he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
A loss of 1 brings up 3rd down and 11.
180! 180!
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They go play action. Rivers. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Micah Hyde able to get a hand in and knock that one away. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Called out a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw again. And his throw here is incomplete. Blake Jarwin, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams and the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball come off the quarterback's hands, and everyone was able to react to the football and knock it away.
Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. DeForest Buckner make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Allen going to go on fourth down. And no, it's incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on fourth down. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
Set, we're okay, we're okay. Set, 180. You better bring. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring. Cluster, cluster, cluster. Load it. Load it. 58, right there. I'm here all day. And 58 is a mic.
A first down throw here for Rivers. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Phillip Rivers with his third touchdown pass of the game. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it.
He's got a man, complete. Give him 32 on the play.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
Pass 85, pass 85.
Allen now on first down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. So now an important conversion attempt here as the Bills line up to go for 2. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend the play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and they end up getting sacked.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Now, there are two scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
On third down, Hines. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He's at the 30. And finally taken down at the 15. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 15.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Bravo!
From the red zone now, Rivers. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A fourth touchdown pass there for Phillip Rivers. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Now here's Rivers. He'll bring his guys up, and they'll go for the two-point conversion.
5. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. And here we go. Watch the pass. Red. Hey, here we go.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Here we go.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
I'm coming. Motion. 53's the mic. 53's the mic. Here we go.
Throwing on first down is Allen. That's complete to Cobb. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Check. Watch the twins. Middle. Slam. Check.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Mike. Brown 80. Mike. Tight down. There you go.
On play action, Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
It's second down.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Throwing now is Allen. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. picked off by Malik Hooker. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And this is incomplete. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. That'll bring up second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers. And he comes back with one complete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Rivers. Flush to his right. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll kick it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, but it'll be second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
It's just me and you.
Allen throwing again, and Diggs has it. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. It's complete to Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Allen to throw once more. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all of that yardage. That would be a big play.
He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 21, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
First and 10 at the 39.
190. Black 15. Check pass.
Now it's Hines. And he loses the football a second time. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. On second down now, it's Hines. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Colts, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jags.